Hello, Red Devils faithful. Welcome back. Whether you're reading this from Old Trafford's shadow or watching from the other side of the world with your scarf still proudly wrapped around your neck, this one's for every single one of you who bleeds red, who dreams in red, and who refuses to give up on this magnificent, maddening, glorious club we call Manchester United. Today, we are diving deep, and I mean proper deep, into the stories swirling around Carrington like a storm that simply refuses to blow over. We're talking managerial mayhem, transfer bombshells, potential returns, and midfield masterclasses waiting to happen. So buckle up, grab your brew, and make sure you smash that follow button. Because trust me, you do not want to miss a single update, as this summer promises to be one of the most pivotal, spine-tingling chapters in Manchester United's modern history. Right then, let's get into it. Let's start with the elephant in the theatre of dreams, shall we? Michael Carrick, United legend, treble winner, a man whose calmness on the ball once made the Stretford end purr with delight, has reportedly seen his chances of landing the Manchester United hot seat suffer a truly significant blow. According to sources close to the club, Carrick has lost the support of the hierarchy, and those are words that carry enormous weight when you understand just how ruthless modern football management has become. Now here's where it gets really interesting, and frankly, where it gets a little poetic in a bittersweet kind of way. The key decision-makers at Old Trafford, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, Omar Barada, and Jason Wilcox, are reportedly wary of falling into what they're calling the same sentimental trap that led to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer being handed the permanent manager's job back in March 2019. And look, we all love Ole. We always will. He's a United man through and through. But the brutal, honest truth that every single Red Devil eventually had to confront was that sentiment and silverware don't always walk hand in hand. The club paid a heavy price for that decision, and it seems the new hierarchy has absolutely no intention of repeating that mistake. So here's my question to you, United faithful. Do you think Michael Carrick deserves more time, or has club performance truly shown us enough to make a decision? Because this is not a small call. This is a decision that could shape the next decade of Manchester United football. Right, so if not Carrick, then who? And this, my friends, is where the conversation becomes genuinely mouth-watering. United are reportedly weighing up a fascinating collection of managerial talents, each bringing something unique, something bold, something that could, if the stars align, reignite the fire that once made Manchester United the most feared club on the continent. Luis Enrique, a Champions League winner, a man who transformed Barcelona into an unstoppable force and has shown a fearless tactical identity with the French national side. Could you imagine that intensity, that pressing, that beautiful aggressive football at Old Trafford? The mind races, doesn't it? Julian Nagelsmann, young, progressive, tactically brilliant, a coach who speaks the modern football language fluently. He's the kind of manager who doesn't just set up a team, he builds a philosophy. And Lord knows, Manchester United are desperately in need of an identity, a clear footballing DNA that fans can recognise from the first whistle to the last. Unai Emery, the cup specialist, the serial winner, a manager who has taken Aston Villa to places nobody dared dream possible. The man simply knows how to win. And at a club starved of trophies for far too long, that pedigree is absolutely priceless. Oliver Glasner, the man who took Crystal Palace and turned them into a team that plays with swagger, creativity, and genuine belief. He's proven he can work with limited resources and still produce something worth watching, which, given United's financial landscape, is no small thing. And then there's Andoni Iraola, the Bournemouth boss, who has been turning heads across the football world with his high-energy, high-intensity pressing game. Reports suggest that Iraola would be open to taking the Manchester United job. And I'll say this, Who on this planet with a love of football and a sense of ambition wouldn't be? This is Manchester United. This is the biggest club in the world. But at this moment, United are not in active negotiations with him, so we watch and we wait. My personal take: Nagelsmann excites me most. His age, his vision, his ability to develop young players. It feels like the perfect marriage for what United need right now. But I genuinely believe Emery's winning mentality could also be transformational. What do you think, Reds? Which of these names gets your blood pumping? Which manager do you believe could restore the glory days to Old Trafford? Drop your thoughts. Now let's talk about something that has really got the Old Trafford faithful buzzing with a complicated mixture of nostalgia, regret, and genuine excitement. Reports coming out of Italy suggest that Manchester United are seriously considering making a move to bring Scott McTominay back home, with insiders at the club reportedly viewing his sale as nothing short of a mistake. Scott McTominay, a boy from Lancashire, a product of the United Academy, a player who wore that shirt with every ounce of passion in his body every single time he stepped onto the pitch. The lad who scored that absolutely thunderous late winner against Manchester City in the derby. You don't forget moments like that. United fans certainly haven't. And since leaving for Napoli, McTominay has flourished beautifully, scoring goals, dictating play, and showing a level of consistency that, if we're being brutally honest, was perhaps never fully appreciated during his time at Old Trafford. Now the club wants him back, and that in itself tells a powerful story about the decisions that have been made in recent years. But here's the burning question: would you welcome Scott McTominay back with open arms, Reds? Or has that ship sailed? Personally, I think there's something deeply compelling about a homegrown lad returning to lead the club he loves. Football needs those stories. United needs that heart. Brace yourselves, because this next one is going to divide opinion right down the middle. Reports from Mirror Football indicate that Manchester United would need to pay somewhere in the region of £100 million to prize Sandro Tonali away from Newcastle United. £100 million for a midfielder who has only recently returned from a lengthy ban. Now, before you clutch your scarves in horror, let's take a breath and think about this properly. Because Sandro Tonali, at his best, is a breathtaking footballer. Technical, tenacious, intelligent, with a passing range that would make the Old Trafford crowd rise from their seats in sheer admiration. The Italian international has all the hallmarks of a truly elite central midfielder. But £100 million is an enormous, eye-watering commitment, particularly when you consider United's ongoing financial situation and the significant squad rebuilding that still lies ahead. Is that the right use of resources? Could that money be spread more wisely across multiple positions of need? So I'm asking you directly, Reds, would you back the board to spend £100 million on Tonali? Or would you rather United move smartly and efficiently to the next target on the list? This is your club. This is your money. Your voice matters. Now, here's a transfer story that has genuinely got me excited. And I think once you hear the details, it'll have you excited too. Manchester United are reportedly hoping to land not one, but two top targets from Sporting CP, midfielder Morten Hjulmand and centre-back Ousmane Diomande. Hjulmand, the Sporting captain and Denmark international, is reportedly the subject of a gentleman's agreement with the Lisbon club that would allow him to leave for a reduced fee of approximately £43.5 million. For a player of his quality, commanding, composed, a genuine leader in the middle of the park, that is, frankly, exceptional value in today's absurd transfer market. And then there's Diomande, the powerful, imposing Ivory Coast defender who has been absolutely magnificent for Sporting. With a price tag reportedly sitting between £35 million and £43.5 million, United could potentially land both players for under £90 million combined. Now that is smart business. That is the kind of targeted, intelligent recruitment that could genuinely transform this squad. United desperately need a commanding presence in central midfield and a reliable, dominant centre-back. And here, potentially, are both. Would you be happy to see this double deal done this summer, Reds? And finally, the name that simply refuses to disappear from United's radar, Carlos Baleba. Reports suggest that United still greatly admire the Brighton midfielder as a long-term target, with growing belief that a move to Manchester could materialise this summer. Baleba was United's primary target last summer for very good reason. Dynamic, aggressive, athletically superb, with a tenacity and drive in the middle of the park that modern top-level football demands. He's young, he's hungry, and he's exactly the kind of profile that a progressive new manager could build an entire midfield around. The question now is whether United will act decisively or whether they'll once again let hesitation cost them, because the football world is watching and other elite clubs are never far behind. Manchester United stand at a crossroads this summer, and I mean that in the most profound sense. The decisions made in the coming weeks and months regarding the manager, the transfers, and the overall direction of this football club will echo through the next decade.